So this is the review page, and what we need to do is somehow translate this reference here to a product to a sidebar block that displays the image of the product and the description. So that's really two distinct steps. One is getting this to look a particular way, and the other part is positioning it in the sidebar. But depending on what approach we take, those two steps will look very different. So you'll have to excuse me for a minute, but I need to talk conceptually about what we're doing before we actually dive in. Because once we dive in, things will take a little bit of time in order to unfold and start to look like what we actually want. So you might not totally grasp exactly what I'm talking about right now, and that's okay. But it will give you a sense of the different approaches that we're going to take. And when we get to the point where we're actually doing them, you may start to recognize what I'm saying. So first of all, how do we get this reference to look like it does in the wireframe? And let's just remind ourselves what that looks like. There's a title that says about this product. We have the image and the description. There's two different ways to approach this. The first is a view mode approach. So a view mode is basically how we display a set of fields in a group in a particular context. And I'm saying context, and I mean it in its literal sense. I'm not talking about a Drupal reference here. By context, I mean a certain place where it will consistently look the same, and if it changes in one place, it will change in every other place. So a view mode, you are probably already familiar with. It can be a full node view mode, or a teaser view mode, which is usually a shorter version of the full node view. And those two are the ones that come by default with Drupal. Modules can add additional view modes for whatever their needs are, and a module called Display Suite, which we'll be installing here shortly, will allow us to create new view modes through configuration simply by filling out a form. And those view modes can then be used in various contexts. So to reduce the abstractness of this, let's look at the view modes available to us now. I'm going to go to Structure, Content Types, and Product. Now we're talking about the view mode for a product node. And I'm going to go to Manage Display. So that's this tab right here, Manage Display. These subtabs that you see right here, Default and Teaser, those are both two different view modes. The default is the full node view that we normally see when we're on the page itself for the content. The teaser displays things in a shorter version. So you see the body here and image here are displayed as normal. If we look at the teaser view, you see that the body is actually a summary or trimmed to the length of 600 characters. When we get to the point where we're working with views, we can choose which view mode to use to display a piece of content. Okay, so that's the first way that we can get the display of the node to look a particular way. The second way is by using fields themselves within the views module. In that case, we basically create our own custom view mode. It's not actually a view mode, but it's structured very similarly within the context of creating a view. So we just pull in the fields that we want. We can do some pretty cool things to those fields to rewrite them or combine them as we need to, and then display the content that way.